What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know whooping. Das, 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 das. We about to get it in. Are you guys ready for another Super Norteno? I know I am. Bang, bang. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays think kicking. And I highly appreciate the support, man. We're going up. It's all because of you, right? So now, whooping, right? You guys ready for another Super Norteño? Look, man, there's one neighborhood and one neighborhood only I will never fool with. I don't know. Maybe it's because of my history with them, but I just understand that there's a certain neighborhood in Modesto, California that you want to stay away from if you're not from there, right? And that is the deep southside Modesto. I said southside and the southerners said Sur gang, but no, not at all. North gang, right there in the deep, right? Deep southside Modesto is historically legendary, and it's been around for years and years and years. It's not a barrio that started in the 2000s. It's not one of those neighborhoods that just, they were once taggers and all of a sudden they became northerners. Nothing like that. The deep goes back to my dad's days, right? My dad was from Southside Modesto, had it tatted on his back. Wasn't necessarily from the barrio, wasn't a norteño, but he was from the deep South Side. He actually met my mother in the deep South Side of Modesto. So I got a long history there, me being born in Modesto, California, in Scenic Hospital on the west, right? But I remember my father always taking us as young kids, man, to the deep, right? Out there on Crow's Landing and all that. So this story is about the deep and how my cousin got deeply involved and deeply fucked up, right? And that's just what it is. So I remember that day, right? And see, sometimes God is on your side and you just miss things slightly, right? But you see it coming, you give a warning shot, no one listens. I gotta go, right? So I remember this particular day. One of my favorite things to do, and has always been to do, is I'm an avid toy collector. I collect vintage toys, what I've always done. You see Chucky in the back, few Hulk Hogan LJNs, right? I collect He-Man and GI, just what I've done my whole life. I just like it. I know they're going to be worth some money or they are not, but it doesn't matter. It's what I'm into, right? And so my thing has always been going to flea markets, going to the segundas, or going the remates, or going to yard sales. So you can catch me at a yard sale. See, if you guys want to catch me slipping, catch me at a yard sale, right? You can hit me with one of those tools they're selling for $10 that's only worth $1. I'm always at yard sales, always at flea markets. So I would call Ricky all the time, like, hey, Wappin, you want to go to the fucking flea market? But we got burned out of the Merced flea market because it was the same old shit. There's only so many papayas fucking Ricky could fucking eat, right, in a day. So mostly there was like fruit. Every once in a while, you'll find some fucked up Plymouth hubcaps. I'm good, right? Sheila wants to eat at every taco truck that exists there. And so by the time we'd leave, I'd spend about fucking $200-300 and only end up with a few mangoes and some chiles. It wasn't worth it, right? So I was like, hey, let's go to the Modesto one. Now, there was two of them out there. There was the old school one on Crow's Landing, which is the real remate where everyone goes, the flea market where fucking North and South be battling. And then there's the one in Ceres at the drive-in, right? In that area. That one's cool, but that's like kind of like a Asian style one. Like you go there and you're going to get knock off everything. Knock it off, right? I'm more into the vintage shit. The people that just throw a table out there. And like I said, there's 2 engines, a Harley Davidson motor, and fucking a few toys. That's what I'm after. So this particular day, I called my tia. I was like, hey, tia, where's Ricky? She's like, okay, you want to call? Where's Ricky? What about me, you son of a bitch? I said, hey, tia, how you doing? Not well, mijo. I'm not doing well at all. Today I'm bored. What are you guys doing? I said, well, we're going to go to the flea market. That's what I want to do. I want to go with you because there's this one dress that I seen at the flea market. It has fucking papayas all over. I said, no, tia, I'm not going to the Merced flea market. I know where you go. You go to that one spot where they have those mannequins. They're wearing all tight dresses and you're thinking that you could squeeze into that shit. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't tell me shit, you son of a bitch. I'll beat your mama. All right. Look, we're going to go to Modesto. Let's go. I said, oh, shit. I didn't want to invite my tia. I want to invite Rick. I like to take Rick for backup. Plus, he'll steal shit, right? He's down to do It's hard to stay at the flea market too. Back in the days, it used to be easy, but now you got to divert the Asians. So you got to be over there like making like a high, make a high knee ho while he's over there just snagging shit, right? Plus Sheila, she'll fucking go over there and she'll bend right over in front of the paisas and they're all captivated and I'm over there stealing fucking Pokemon cards. Shit I don't even need. It's what we do, right? So I was like, well, put Ricky on. Oh, okay, well, here's fuckface number 1. So I'm like, hey, what's up, Rick? He goes, I'm already ready, whopping, right? I said, hey, you want to go to the flea market? He said, oh, well, I was already ready. I said, well, we're going to go. I'll be over there to pick you up. So I slid by. It's him, Sheila, my tia, and some paisa that she's with. She's always got a little paisa sidekick. You know what she calls them dudes? She don't call them, oh, this is my boyfriend. This is your tío. No, she said, this is my wallet, my purse. She calls him her purse, right? Look at my new Louis Vuitton purse. He's from Oaxaca, right? What the fuck, right? So we all load in. We go to Modesto. Now, at this particular time, I'm of an understanding that the homies out there in Modesto don't play. But I was active, so I was in the mix, so I was cool. It didn't matter, right? Like, hey, one Norteno to another is going to be good. Where you from, homie? I'm from Merced. Are you from Modesto? Boom, boom. Sometimes some of them younger cats will still trip. They'd be like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. But they're looking at you like, all right, say anything stupid, and I'm going to give you the Modesto Jat Flat. And that's just how that goes. So we're mobbing, right? And we're stopping at little spots, and my tia's buying all kinds of fruit. And she loves the fruit. Mijo, look at, they got pineapples, 2 for $10. I said, tia, you can get that at the store, 2 for $5. Yeah, but it's more authentic here because a guy's selling it, and he's from fucking Egypt. I didn't even know they had pineapples in Egypt, right? So she's loading her fucking little cart. She has a little cart. One leg's all fucked up. It's going, and she's telling Sheila, just carry it, bitch. I know you're strong enough. As many fucking rodeo burgers have you eaten? Come on, Reggie White, do your thing. And so the little paisa, his wallet is, he started with the stack. He's just shrinking. He's looking at like, damn, how many jalapenos are you going to buy? She was like, don't be mad because I like swallowing jalapeno. He was like, oh, yeah, sí, porque sí. He knows she likes swallowing jalapeno. So we're mobbing around, and Ricky's like, whooping, there's a gang of homies here, right? So Ricky's over there mixing and mingling with Northerners, like just whatever, just people. He don't even know him. He's like, whooping, are you active? Right? He's over there chilling. He's in like a winter wonderland. Nothing but homies. And I told him, hey, there be Southerners here too, bro. Whooping, there ain't no fucking Southern. This Modesto. I said, yeah, well, every once in a while they're in the disguise. They're Sur gang. You could tell by the writing on their hat, right? They be in disguise. So you need to really relax with who you're just walking up on, bro, because you can fuck around and get bombed out. Whooping, I don't give a shit. I'm ready, right? They fought a knife this big. Wouldn't even fit, nose longer than the knife, right? But whatever, he's prepared. So as we're mobbing around, I see vatos, and they're all wearing these jackets, and it says The Deep, right? And I automatically know these fools are from deep Southside Modesto. Now, let me stop you there and take you on a history lesson back. So I had a homeboy named Julio, right? He's passed away now. He died of cancer in Tracy Prison, right? Good friend of mine, good friend of my family's. Known him since, he's from Patterson. Known him since we were little kids, man. He was one of my tío's friends, right? And I was actually friends with his son, but he was my homeboy too. I blasted a big old plaqueazo on his son's back, big old fucking his last name, and did Modesto on his stomach. His son's known in Modesto. But anyways, right? I remember this fool was living in deep Southside. They have a little store out there. And this was like, I got out of Y. I was like 19, 20 years old. I was already fucking in the mix, going back and forth to jail and shit. And so I was like, my shit don't stink era. I call that the shit don't stink era because I didn't give a fuck. And so I remember we went to his pad one time, and he was all tweaked out with some chick, right? And I get there, I'm with my tío. My tío doesn't like that stuff. My tío's like, man, I'm gone. But I want to kick it. I'm not going to lie. I want to kick it. That chick was looking like she was giving away free mamones, and I love free. I live free and I love free, right? So I want to be there for the basic situation of toma. So I'm on toma shit. So the homie's there. He's like, hey, bro, go to the store and get some beer and some Mountain Dew and shit, right? Why do all tweakers like Mountain Dew? I said, all right, cool. So I know I'm in the deep South side of Modesto, but I don't really realize how it is, So as I'm walking to the store, as I'm walking back, I got a case of beer and I got a few Mountain Dews, right? And I'm walking back and some dude hits me up. He cruises by and he stops. And, my awareness is up. I don't know who this is. I'm in a different neighborhood. And like I've always said, you treat people with respect when you're in their backyard, right? So he's like, hey, homie, where you from? I was like, Norte, XIV. He says, okay, that's cool and shit, but where you from, bro? And I said, I'm from Merced. And he says, yeah, well, why you here, bro? Do you know someone from here? And I was thinking, oh, he's one of them, right? He's one of them that's tripping. So I was like, yeah, I'm at the homeboy Julio and shit. He's like, who's that supposed to be? I said, no, the homeboy that lives over there. He said, well, take me over there where he lives. I said, I ain't taking you where he lives, eh? Right? Fuck you, bro. He jumps off the car and the doors open and more dudes jump out the car. And they're like, deep southside Modesto, eh? And they jump me, right? Mountain Dew juice everywhere. I'll never forget. They fucked me up pretty bad. I get to the homeless, right? They took my beer. They done took one of the Mountain Dews and hit me over the head with the other one, right? I beat the homeless with a Pepsi back in the days. They hit me with the Mountain Dew. They were doing the do. So I walked into the homeless. I was like, what it do, right? I'm going to tell you what it do. I got dew all over me. So I jumped in the shower. Didn't even get a mamon. So there was no justification for that. I'm like, man, the homies from the deep jumped me, bro. They didn't even give a fuck I was a homie. He said, man, they're like that out here, bro. They don't play. The deep is with the business. So I grew up understanding from that point on and knowing that they are on a different level, man. They're one of those gangs in Northern California you don't fuck with, right? They got a lot of hitters coming out of there and a lot of real shit coming out of there, right? And I've been locked up with hella dudes from Modesto, and they always, when you talk about the deep, everyone gets quiet. They could be from the west side, from East Side Airport, from north side, the 8 Ball, OGL, all these different groups, right? Ski 9, Four Corners, like they're all down. West Side boys, they're with the shits. But you mention the deep and everyone gets quiet because they are them guys, right? That's them. They are the Barrio and Modesto no one wants to fool around with. And that's just the facts. And so anyways, now we fast forward to the flea market. And Ricky's walking around, whooping, right? Doing his thing. And I'm going to go eat at a taco truck. And Sheila, of course, wants to tag along for whatever her reasons are, right? I'll tell you what her reasons are. 2 burritos and fucking a champorado. Is that how you say it? Champorado. That's how she said it, right? She wants a champorado. And so I'm like, let's go. So we're over there. I'm eating some tamales. They had bomb. Like one thing about the Modesto flea market, they got bomb ass food, right? So I'm grubbing and shit. And my tia and the paisa dude, they're walking away and whatever. And I see Ricky over there and it looks like he's arguing with someone. And I'm like, fuck, man, I can't take this fucking idiot nowhere. So I get up, half a tamale hanging out of my mouth, and fucking Sheila snatches the other half of it and starts chewing it. I'm like, right out the mouth. Like, God damn, girl, my babas are all over it. It's okay, I don't care, right? Whatever. You stay here where you're accustomed to being. This ain't a buffet though, bitch. You're going to pay for your own shit. And I get up and I go over there to Ricky, and there's some dudes from the deep there, right? And I see them, like I said, they had deep all over their shit. I'm like, oh, man. So Ricky said, whooping, hey, what's up, right? And they're tripping on him. They're like, hey, who are you, bro? Like I said, that's their get down. They're cool with other Norteños, but at the same time, if you ain't from deep Southside Modesto, they ain't fucking with or fooling with you, right? So I'm telling Ricky, hey, just come on, fool. There's hell of them. I'm like, come on. He's like, no, man, they claim Southside. I said, they're not Sureños, though. He's like, no, look at their jackets, say Southside. I said, listen, they're homies. They all got red binders. They're wearing red. We're Southside. I said, I had to explain to him because he doesn't understand what's going on, right? So he's over there like, das. I'm over there like, whopping, let's go before you get us eradicated from this spot. So once I'm explaining to him, I tell the homies, all right, bro. All right, that's my primo, bro. He's a J-Cat. All right, now. They're like, all right. But they're mean mugging. I haven't had so much mean mugging since I pulled up to Fred C. Nellis, right? In YA and Whittier, where the girls were prettier and the guys were grittier. And I see it, Sur gang. I'm like, oh, man, we got to do a pushing. So we go over there and we get Sheila. And I'm like, hey, we should jam, eh? Right? And he's like, no. Ricky's like, no, I want to get me a jacket. I want to get a jacket with letters on it. They had this one paisa dude. He would press lettering on it. He wanted to get a big old Gustin with 14 on it, a red jacket, which was cool because that's one thing about Northern California. Like, in Southern California, you go find a lot of Dodgers. You're going to find a lot of blue, everything, because they know the situation. Like, they know what people want, right? Same thing in Northern California. You're going to see a lot of stuff all in red Raider hats, red jackets. Like, that's just how it is because they know the majority of the people want that, right? So he bought him a red Charlie Brown like the one I got, and he wanted to get a red jacket with lettering on it. And so I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. It's getting a little too heated over here, man. Them dudes keep circling, like getting closer and closer, like sharks. We're fish in the water, right? So my tia's old man had drove. We jumped in the car, but they had drove in a truck, right? So I get a hold of my tia. I see her. She's over there buying more fucking mango and papayas, right? And the fucking pie says, no, Mr. George, right? I'm like, yeah, Mr. Purse. Yeah, Mr. Louis Vuitton. So I tell my tia, hey, tia, I think I'm a jam. And she's like, you fucking scary fucker. What are you going to leave for? Because the heat's getting hot. You want to get the fuck out of the kitchen. Even the roaches are more downer than you, bitch. The roaches stay right there when the shit's up to 480 degrees. I said, not the eye. Look, I ain't feeling good. And we should just jam. I ain't going to lie. Ricky's going to cause some issues. And I'm just not with that. Like, I'm not with the red on red. Back then, I wasn't with that shit, right? Even though they jumped on me before, I just still was not with that. And she was like, well, go tell your fucking cousin. Let's go. So I go, and Ricky's like, no, whooping. I'm going to get the jacket. I don't give a fuck. They're not going to fuck with me. They're cool. Those are homies. They can't. This wasn't 1997 yet. This wasn't the end to red on red. This was still full go red on red and fuck you and find out where we leave you, right? I'm cool, right? So I'm like, man, I want to jam, but I'm like, fuck, I can't leave Ricky and them hanging. My tia's like, we're going to go and there's no room for that fat bitch in my car. There's no room. So we're going to leave. So my tia, they're jamming. I could see them leaving, right? And the flea market's pretty big. And I'm trying to convince Ricky, let's go, because I don't want no conflict. These dudes are still mobbing. And you could tell, right? And there's like more of them gathering. We're in their area. And I'm like, fuck, bro. And they start looking at us like we're a piece of fucking Southside dinner, like steak, right? I'm like, man, how many times is the deep Southside going to put hands on me? I'm cool, right? I already got a tooth missing in Modesto. I don't need no more ligaments or body parts left in Modesto. I'm cool, man. I'm going to stop coming to this motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Period. There's DNA everywhere. You know, a lot of it in women. But I'm just saying, right? I'm just not going to do that. And so I'm like, Rick, man, we need backup. I call my boy Julio, little Julio, right? Which is Julio and his fucking primo. They're from the west side. And I'm like, hey, fool, I'm over here at the fucking flea market, man. My primo we might get into it on some of the deep dudes. They're like, oh, we don't fuck with them cats, bro. Them cats are with the shit. You know what I'm saying? They might be strapped up in that motherfucker. I'm like, damn, bro. So I'm like, hey, Rick, let's go. He's like, whooping, I'm not gonna go. I said, bro, I'm telling you, these fools are gonna fuck you up, bro. Right? He's like, whooping, they're cool. I already talked to them. All right, cool. Fuck you then. Remember, I told you, see, like I said, you warn someone when you get that bad feeling. You can't, hey, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make him think, right? So I can't do nothing for him. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gone. So I'm like, Julio, come pick me up. I gave my keys to Ricky and Sheila, like, hey, do your thing. Sheila, just eat your way out of it, whatever happens. Ricky, run, right? Be the runner and run. Me, I'm going to go ahead and go chill with the other homies from Modesto, the ones that are kind of cool and shit. So my homeboy little Julio slides through with his primo, right? His primo was a hitter. I'm going to tell you guys a story about them later on. My homeboy little Julio is doing life in prison behind a murder that is crazy, right? It's going to blow your guys' mind. It's some true crime shit. Facts. So anyways, right? Ricky's like, whooping, you're going to just leave me like that? I said, no, I don't want to just leave you like that. I'm telling you, let's go. I'm ready to go anyways, man. I found a fucking tight-ass shirt, literally tight-ass shirt that makes my arms look bigger. Let's go, right? He's like, no, I'm going to stay. I said, fuck it. Here's my keys. Bon voyage. Hasta la vista, baby. Fuck you. Catch you in the hospital. See you later. My homeboy's like, let's jam. So we jammed to his pad. I'm like, hey, I don't want to leave Motown because I already know, bro. We're going to have to go pick my cousin. I know how my cousin is. Well, this is what happens, right? This is how stupid shit goes down. Ricky got buzzard luck, but at the same time, he got luck. Then fools actually walk up on him, and Ricky's like, whooping. Ricky's down, and they like, the dude who's there likes the way that Ricky's down for whatever, right? And so they kind of like, hey, bro, whoop-de-whoop, whatever, little conflicts they have, and they tell Ricky it's good. So Ricky does his thing, gets his fucking jacket made, puts his jacket on right there. They see the big old 14 on it. They're like, yeah, this motherfucker's stupid. He's crazy. They realize he's a J-Cat, and no one gets fucking brownie points for beating up a J-Cat. That's how I know that dude, Little Toro, is going to be safe wherever he goes, because no one gets a brownie point for beating him up, right? If you can. He got stupid strength. So anyways, my primo calls. He's like, whooping, no one did nothing. We're about to go. We're going to go to Julio's, right? So, yeah, come on. So they slide over there to Julio's. We're all kicking back, chilling. His mom's cooking, and she's good people, man. She was finding them. Motherfucker. I'm just saying, though, Julio, if you see this, you always know me and your mom were cool, right? I'm not going to say I tried anything, but we were cool. And let me explain to you guys. Me and her were her age. This is little Julio. Yeah, at this time, he's, you know what I'm saying? He's a young buck, right? And so we're over there, and it's his primo's like a gangster, too. Anyways, we're chilling, right? He was like 17 because he was like 15, 16. He was a youngster, and his primo was like 20, a little bit older than us. I would think at that time I was like 20, whatever, right? So anyways, we're chilling. I'm chopping up with his mom. She's cooking. She's good people's. And Ricky, like a dumbass, forgot a bag at the flea market. And I'm like, that shit's gone, bro. That shit's gone. Chalk that up. We escaped the deep, and that's good. No, he wants to go back, right? And me, like a dumbass, let's go back, right? So I'm sitting in the car, right? And it's me, Lil Julio, his primo, Sheila, and Ricky's just going to run to the Spicer where he left the bag. He left the bag with like he bought a Charlie Brown, a red Charlie Brown he wants to get, right? Man, all of a sudden, man, it's like these dudes from Deep Southside, they just post up right there. They don't never leave, right? I'm waiting right there, man. My tia's calling me, you need to get in there. They're beating that shit out of my son. We took off running in there. It was too late. By the time we got there, man, that motherfucker had the deep imprinted on his forehead. These dudes concussed him. It was all bad, right? They kicked the field goal and missed all the way outside, but landed where they wanted to. Man, these fools fucked my primo up. And I remember Lil Julio was like, I was like, let's fuck that, bro. Let's get these fools. I know they're in here. He was like, "Fool, are you kidding me? You know who these guys are?" And I said, "You're right, right?" We drugged that motherfucker. He was like, "Whoopin, what happened to me?" It wasn't whopping, it was whooping to me. Whooping to me. I'm gonna say, "Whopping, did you get your Charlie Brown?" "I haven't got it yet." "Man, you're not ever gonna get it yet, right? Let's go." We drugged that motherfucker to the car and left. Look, I'm telling you guys right now, man, in Modesto, California, man, deep south side ain't nothing to play with. Ricky learned his lesson. Look, cool part about it is he ends up going to prison around one of them dudes who fucked him up. We're going to tell that story at a later date and time. If you guys enjoy these supers, hit me up, man, because I got some good ones for you this week. Bangers. Thumbs up or thumbs down. See, Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people, man. Thank you. This video is sponsored by Vario Liquors out there in Turlock, California. Since we're talking about Stanislaus County, go tap into the Vario and get you something cool to drink. Bang, bang.